Welcome back to EtherLink AI Insights. I'm Alex, and today we're diving into something truly unique, a concept that sounds almost too good to be true. We're talking about an AI vision quest happening in Finnish Lapland, where executives and founders can actually transform their leadership while building AI agents. Sam, when I first read about this, I had to ask, why would anyone leave their office for a forest in Finland to learn about AI?
Great question, Alex. And I get the skepticism. It does sound unconventional. But here's what's fascinating. There's genuine neuroscience behind it. Research shows that natural environments boost cognitive function by about 20% and creative problem-solving by up to 50% compared to urban settings. When you're trying to make high-stakes decisions about AI implementation, governance, and organizational change, you need that cognitive bandwidth.
Okay, so it's not just a wellness retreat dressed up as a business program. There's real methodology here. Walk me through what actually happens during these 7 days. What are founders walking away with?
The structure is pretty thoughtful. Days 1 and 2 are foundational. You get a diagnostic assessment of where your organization actually sits in AI maturity. That's critical because most executives overestimate their readiness. Then you're paired with a dedicated AI mentor, not just for the week, but through a 90-day implementation phase after you leave. That continuity is key.
A personal AI mentor following you back into your business. That's the real differentiator, isn't it? Because anyone can go to a conference and get inspired. But then you go back to the office and nothing changes.
Exactly. And they're also building what they call a golden prompt stack, essentially a customized toolkit of AI prompts and governance frameworks tailored to your specific industry and organizational structure. By day 7, you're not leaving with generic knowledge. You're leaving with actionable, documented strategies.
Now, I noticed the program emphasizes EU AI Act compliance pretty heavily. Why is that such a big deal right now, especially in Finland specifically?
Because the window is closing fast. Finland consistently ranks in the top 3 globally for digital trust and cybersecurity, and their approach to the EU AI Act is among the most mature in Europe. But here's the sobering statistic. Only 5% of small to medium enterprises are actually using agentic AI in production today, while 11% are testing at small scale. That's an enormous gap.
So leaders who can bridge that gap, who understand both the technology and the governance, they're going to be the ones ahead in the next 12 to 24 months.
Precisely. And here's what makes Lapland strategically brilliant. You're not just removing yourself from operational noise. You're positioning yourself in a region with world-class governance infrastructure and compliance expertise. You're learning in context.
What about the practical side? I'm imagining some executives think, great, I'll spend 7 days in a forest, but what happens when I get back and I'm drowning in email and my team hasn't moved? How does the program account for that re-entry shock?
That's where the 90-day implementation plan comes in. Your AI mentor doesn't vanish once you step off the plane. You're working backward from specific, measurable outcomes. The retreat gives you the clarity and frameworks to know exactly what needs to happen first, second, third. It's not vague. It's sequenced and accountability-driven.
And I imagine there's value in the cohort too? I see it's limited to 8 participants. Who are the people actually signing up for this?
It's designed for founders, CTOs, and C-suite executives who've moved past the AI is interesting phase and are in the we need to implement this seriously phase. 8 people means it's not a conference. It's intimate enough for real dialogue. You're not competing for attention. You're in genuine conversation with peers facing similar challenges.
That's actually one of the most underrated parts of something like this. You're learning from the facilitators, yes, but you're also learning from 5 other smart people solving different versions of the same problem.
Absolutely. And here's something else. The location itself, Taiga School near Kitkajärvi Lake, surrounded by 4 national parks, that's not accidental luxury. The midnight sun during summer gives you extended daylight and altered circadian rhythms that actually enhance creative thinking. It's all designed to support the cognitive work you're doing.
So let's talk practically for someone listening right now. If you're a founder or exec considering this, what are the real risks or questions you should be asking before committing?
First, does your organization's current leadership actually have capacity to implement change in the 90 days after? If you're in constant crisis mode, a retreat won't fix that. Second, are you genuinely committed to compliance-first AI? Because this isn't about moving fast and breaking things. It's about sustainable, governance-aware automation. Third, does your team trust your leadership enough to follow where you're going with this?
Those are sobering questions, but important ones. Because bringing back a strategy that your team doesn't buy into is worse than not going at all.
Right. And I think the best candidates for this are leaders who already sense that the old ways of thinking about AI, treating it as a tech problem rather than a leadership and governance problem, aren't working. This program is for people ready to evolve their thinking, not just their tool stack.
Last question. Given everything we've discussed, the cognitive science, the governance expertise, the AI mentor continuity, what's the real outcome that makes this worth the investment?
Clarity and confidence. Right now, most executives are trying to navigate AI implementation without a coherent framework. They're making reactive decisions. A program like this gives you a genuinely personalized strategy rooted in your organizational reality, plus the governance knowledge to execute it responsibly. That's rare.
Clarity and confidence. I think that resonates. For anyone listening who wants to dig deeper into the full details of this program, the curriculum breakdown, or how to apply, head over to etherlink.ai. You'll find the complete article with all the specifics. Thanks for breaking this down with me, Sam.
Thanks, Alex. It's a refreshing reminder that transformation doesn't always happen in a boardroom. Sometimes you need to step into nature, think differently, and commit to real change.
That's it for this episode of EtherLink AI Insights. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week with another deep dive into AI leadership. Take care.